Hey, what is going on, guys? It is D-Free, and I am back with our very first Wi-Fi battle for Pokemon ORAS Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, and today I am playing against a longtime subscriber. You guys go check this guy out. He has an awesome channel. His name is Scott E Does a Let's Play. You can find him under the squad section on my page. So yeah, this is obviously post-commentated, if you guys couldn't tell already, and just checking out the squads here. The only Pokemon that I was really concerned about was Scott's, look at that Scrafty, was Scott's Absol, because, you know, the rest of his team I had an answer for. So I wanted to go ahead and just lead with the Scrafty because I felt like Scrafty had the most utility to lead with, of course. So please forgive me if I make some mistakes. This is my first ever Wi-Fi battle on the channel, first ever post-commentated video. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'm gonna do my best. So we're playing against Scott E Does a Let's Play today, and like I said, he had an awesome squad there. I did not write down his squad, take a picture of it like a lot of people do, or anything like that, so I completely forgot his squad, and that makes it seem a little bit more authentic to me, you know, if you don't know what 6 Pokemon somebody else is bringing. So I led with the Scrafty, of course, wanted to get that first turn Intimidate off, and he leads with a Muck called Rubber, and of course I'm going to go for the Fake Out, get a free attack, get some free damage in, if you will, and it's not going to do a whole lot there. Just honestly, all I really used that for was the flinching, like I said, get some free damage off. My Scrafty is by no means an offensive Scrafty, so keep that in mind. He has the Intimidate ability, he also is holding the Assault Vest, and his investments are completely between special defense and regular defense, and a little bit of HP, I believe. So he has no offense, and he also has Drain Punch. He's just a defensive Pokemon. Scrafty is really bulky and underrated. At this point, I was just kind of thinking what I was going to do. I got the Intimidate off. Yes, he's at -1. I did get the flinch on him, but I was like, how strong is this Muck? Like, what would he do with this Muck? Is he going to swap out? What can he potentially do? And I was looking at my Spiritomb here because I was like, you know, my Spiritomb can pretty much tank this thing as well. And I could also Willow with this thing and take its HP even lower, which is what I ultimately decided to do. Because I wanted to get the Scrafty out of there because it did not have an attack that was favorable to use in this situation. So I got him out of there, got the Spiritomb in there, and activated his pressure ability. And he went for a Mud Slap. That was actually, that was really surprising. That's not a move I see very often, but obviously he did it for the accuracy buffs that it does. And I was really surprised as well to see the Shell Bell of all things, not like a Leftovers or a Citrus, anything like that. He had the Shell Bell, so that tells me that his set is, hey, I'm gonna do minor damage to you while recovering minor HP, but also hexing you with the accuracy changes, as you see there. And it didn't bother me, even though Will-O-Wisp is not the most accurate attack. I decided to go for it, and I missed, but don't worry. I stayed out here with the Spiritomb, and it was awesome. You know, I just was like, I really don't have an actual answer for this Muck, so I can only play around it. And at this point, I was like, okay, so since I missed, my accuracy is at like -2 at this point. What am I gonna do? And I was like, screw it, let's go for another Willow. He can't get me too many times. And then I was looking at the damage he was doing to me, and I was like, he's really not doing anything. And if I went back out into my Scrafty, get another Intimidate off, he's really not going to be doing anything. I don't want to spoil anything because I think that is actually what I wind up doing anyway. But I got the burn, as you see there, so that also nerfs his attack even more. So at this point, I'm just like, yeah, there's nothing this guy can do to me. I'm expecting Scott to swap him out, but I don't believe that Scott goes for the swap out. I was really expecting it. Yeah, see, he stayed in here, he went for the Gunk Shot. He's just not really doing any damage. It looks like he's trying to get the poison on me, is what it looks like. But, you know, I wasn't too concerned about that. I just wanted to leave my Spiritomb out there, because as you can see, the burn was doing more damage than he was recovering with the Shell Bell. Now, granted, he would have a lot less HP if he did not have the Shell Bell out there, and now I just go for, like, the overkill. I was deciding whether I wanted to set up with my Blaziken, because I think at no HP, that Rubber has no HP, my bad, attack at this point. It really couldn't do anything to me, and as you see, he has an interesting set. He's not Mega, he has the Sash, but I was like, let me get greedy here, okay? Let me go back out into the Scrafty, even though he really can't do anything to this Muck, and get the Intimidate off again. And yeah, this guy's at like, what, like -4 now? I'm just like, damn. Okay, so he gets the Gunk Shot off, and this pisses me off, because he had been spamming it, and he got the poison, the hacks, gods are on his sides, because he had been spamming that, and I was like, no, it's not gonna happen. So I wasn't even worried about it. But clearly the Hex gods are on his side in this battle, and they were like, yeah, Scott, you're gonna get it this time. So I do get some damage off. It does get burned a little bit there, and we're gonna proceed with the battle. Honestly, I was like, okay, so Scrafty now is poisoned, but this guy's still at a minus, and I'm going for the fake out. Get a free turn of damage. We're both going to get hit by our hacks respectively, and have a little bit of minor damage done to each of us. So like I said, this was a really fun battle, because I just really couldn't get past this muck for the first beginning portion of this battle. And so at this point I was like, you know, I'm done with this guy's shell bell. Let me just go for the stab knockoff, okay? And he does outspeed my Scrafty, which is kind of interesting, but whatever. So yeah, he does outspeed my Scrafty. He does get that off, get my accuracy down, of course. Does recover a little bit with the shell bell. At this point, I was done with that goddamn shell bell. Knock that shit off. I literally told him, hey, knock that off. Knock it off. And there goes the muck. So that was actually like the biggest problem in this battle for the most part. The muck, as you can see, it took about 6 minutes to get past it. And the rest of this battle was awesome. It was really interesting. Hey, I also did not mention that this is actually my second takeout battle with Scott. He beat me like the day before. I was using some throw together team, just Rain, Mega Swampert. That just was like, hey, let me test this out, because I'd never had the luxury of playing with Mega Swampert, and he's so awesome with Swift Sim. So he beat me pretty bad, and I was like, okay, let me bring some actual Pokemon that I do know how to use and play with. So yeah, that's where we're at today. So I don't want you guys to like see like, hey, you know, D-Free just completely demolished this guy, because he did beat me pretty damn bad. But the battle is still on. He sends out Flower. This guy has some awesome nicknames. Okay, so at this point I'm like, okay, Scrafty is now poisoned. So what is this guy gonna do? He does have the stab super effective on me thanks to dark typing, even though we're both fighting type Pokemon, I do have that dual typing. So he does have a super effective move he can use on me, and I was like, Sylveon, if I go out into Sylveon, it can tank a fighting hit easy. But I was like, you know, it's not physically defensive, so I still didn't know how much HP that would cause me if I threw him out there against like a fighting attack. But obviously that would have been a smart thing to do. I decided not to do it. So we're just waiting on D-Free at this point. I decided not to do it, as you can see, and I was like, okay, so what move will I use? I'm not going to fake out because that doesn't work. I will go for the Drain Punch to try to recover some HP back, and I did not expect the Jewel Chop. If I had went with my first mind and swapped them out and went out to the Sylveon, that would have been a free swap, because that wouldn't have affected me. And now he knows, now Scott knows that I know that he has Dual Chop, which I did not expect whatsoever for him to be running that, but now he knows I have that. So he's not going to go for it again at this point, but I still came back thinking, okay, Scrafty's kind of low. Do I want to tank it and let him go, or do I want to keep him out here and give him an opportunity to come back later on in the battle? And I was like, nah, not really. He's kind of low at this point. I don't really need the Intimidating as anything, because I wasn't really scared. He does outspeed, and this time he goes for this Fire Punch, predicting the Sylveon swap out, I believe. But I didn't do it. Like I said, I didn't do it because at that point I had already knew that he knew that I was gonna swap out or something like that. So I'm looking at this squad I have here, and I'm like, okay, here's the Fire Punch. Mamo, nah. Blaziken, he has Fire Punch, the Dual Chop. Those are the only two things I've seen. I'm really not concerned. I do have the Sash. I'm looking at this squad like, seriously, what can I do? And I think I'm going to end up going out into my Manectric at this point, my shiny Manectric, if I will. If I do say so myself, the guy is awesome with that black and gold, black, yellow, whatever. So I was seriously debating Sylveon, as you can see. I was like, man, do I want to throw Sylveon out there? Because my Sylveon is awesome. So D-Free's just debating. He's thinking about it. And as you can see, I went out into the Mamoswine. Now, this is where the battle gets kind of interesting, because Scott did not know my build on the Mamoswine. It's pretty unorthodox. As you guys can see, majority of my Pokemon that I have with me are not standard sets. They're really not standard competitive sets. You can find them like Smogon.com and stuff like that. They're really not competitive. I mean, they're not. It's not that they're not competitive, because they are competitive Pokemon, but they're not competitive like standard EVs, IVs, movesets, items. So I am, at this point, I'm attacking him. That did a great amount of damage, you know, just raw power plus the stab. And at this point, Scott's like, okay, whatever. George, he took that hit. He may outspeed this Mamo. Glalie not the slowest Pokemon. But at this point, Scott's probably thinking to himself, hey, this guy is, his mammo must be fully invested in speed with like a jolly nature. Like, he's like, okay, that's an interesting mammo, right? That right there would be an interesting mammo. Full speed investment, that would be awesome. But he's not gonna outspeed anything but like a wall. So then he sends out Carol the Sharpedo, the female Sharpedo, of course, because it's named Carol. And then I get off another Earthquake. And at this point, I know he's like, hold on, what is happening? Because my mammo took down Carol in one shot. And now, I think at this point is where he messages me on Skype. He's like, that's a Scarf mammo, isn't it? And I was like, hell yeah, my mammo is Scarf. Scarf mammo swine is OP as hell. It is awesome because he just has the raw power. And then on top of that, he outspeeds a lot of Pokemon with that Scarf on. And it's just awesome, and he still has the priority move in case he needs to use it. But the only downside to a choice item, obviously, as you guys know, is that you can only use one move. And he has the shiny Absol. He was trying to troll me a little bit, on Skype. He's like, Mega Absol, Mega Shiny Absol or not? I was like, I don't know. But clearly he goes Mega Shiny at this point, and that thing is beautiful, if I do say so myself. I love that orangish color. It looks really, really cute. Really, really cute. And of course the first turn Protect, because why not? And my Earthquake does not work, and at this point he's fully aware that I am Scarfed. So I'm like, hey, what am I gonna do? Who am I gonna go out into at this point? You guys are gonna get to see like, I mean, obviously you see that D-Free spends a lot of time deciding what he's gonna do, but you guys are going to get to see something really, really cool pretty soon. I'm not gonna swap out the mammo though. I'm not going to, if I recall correctly. I'm gonna let mammo stick it out with this thing because I have faith in his Earthquake, and the only thing I was fearing was a Sucker Punch, which I knew was not gonna be enough to take me out because mammo is just naturally bulky. Look at all that HP. He wasn't gonna take me out with the Sucker Punch at just standard attack without any swords, dances, or anything like that. And that's what he went for, of course, because he knew that I would outspeed, and it did about half damage, a little over half, about 30 more HP over half. But that EQ is gonna be enough, gonna be powerful enough to take out the Absol, the Mega Absol, with ease. At this point, Scott is like, no, my Mega Absol, and I'm just playing. Scott is, he's really well composed, so. Let's see who he swaps out into, because I completely forgot. Oh, the Metagross, okay. This is the one I asked him. He said that he got this one from the ORAS demo that came out a while ago, before the game came out, of course, because it was a demo. And I went for the EQ again. At this point, if I were able to get this off, I would have had the mammo sweep, but I don't because he gets the bullet punch off with the stab, and that's going to be enough to take me out because the priority and the super effectiveness. Okay, so at this point, I'm like, okay, will I go out into the Blaziken? Will I go out into the Manectric? And that is what I wound up doing. I was like, okay, Manectric does have the flamethrower. I really wish that I put him on. I really wish I gave him overheat, and you guys will see why in a moment. He is Mega Manectric, so that's something to parking lot to think about here for a moment while I decide what I was gonna do. And there he goes, the black Mega Manectric. And that was super effective. It did a lot of damage, but it did not do enough on the goddamn Metagross. I thought that we would be better off than we were, apparently. And that's why I said I wish I had the overheat on him, because now I know that he has the priority bullet punch, and that bullet punch will be able to do a lot of damage to me. So I was like, okay, so do I want to let my Manectric faint at this point? He did get the, oh no, he got the Intimidate off, but it got Clear Body nullified. So at this point, I was like, I do have the Sash, but on top of that, my Blaziken is kind of bulky, thanks to his EV spread, and it's the shiny Blaziken. It's for me, I took a while getting that guy. Anyways, the Bullet Punch does not do anything, apparently. So at this point, what he's gonna do, I'm not sure. I think that he's gonna go for an EQ. That's why I went for a Protect, because why not? And also it gives me that speed boost, of course. That's what you always do with Blaziken. And he did go for an EQ like I predicted, but either way it got protected. That's why it's really useful, because it shows you what they want to do, and you get the speed boost as far as Blaziken is concerned. At this point, I'm like, okay, I don't have very high accuracy moves. That's why I gave him the Hone Claws. The only problem with this build is I don't have a fire type stab move. That's my only gripe with this build. I just have to figure it out. So I went for the stab high jump kick because it's more accurate, and it does hit first turn because he wasn't going to go for another bullet punch. And we did go ahead and get the KO on that Metagross. I built this Blaziken to get a late game sweep. I really did, and that's why he's here. But apparently, he's going to do what he's supposed to do. So he went back out into Flower, his last Pokemon. So I didn't fear anything from this guy, honestly. So I went for Hone Claws to get the +1 and to get that +1 accuracy as well. That is actually like the Achilles of this build for this Blaziken, that +1 accuracy. It just makes him so much better. So I went ahead and went for that. He doesn't know what he's going to do, apparently. So it took him a while, but then he kind of realized there was not too much he could do, because there's no way this Flower is going to beat my entire squad. And that popped up. I was doing something, so I'm sorry about that, but I was able to get it off in time to see a little bit of the animation there. It won't happen again. I don't know what happened. It just kind of popped up on its own. It was like a background process. But anyways, at this point, I am at +1. And I really don't know what he used on me. It looked like bounce, I'm not sure. But at this point, like I said, I'm at +1 accuracy. I'm going for the stab attack. Even though it's not super effective, this move is very accurate and it's very powerful at this point. And high jump kick will go ahead and get the win on Scott's Pokemon. Like I said, this is our second battle. He beat me the first time around. Be sure to subscribe to both me and Scott. Leave a like and let me know how you guys felt about this. Peace out, guys. I will catch you in the next one. Bye.